Dewanna needs to take her ass back to the hood with all that fouling.
Here's Clark, 3 to shoot. Gonna have to.
Did karma just catch up to Dewanna Bonner? And is the WNBA finally laying down the law? After that dirty moment with Caitlin Clark, is her contract suspension the universe's way of saying, play nice or pay the price?
Points from the logo, an air ball, and Clark wanted a foul. Felt like Bonner ran into her.
The Indiana Fever are actively shopping Dewanna Bonner for trades. Karma body slammed Bonner so hard the league didn't even blink. Just days after her cheap shot on Caitlin Clark, an incident fans branded one of the dirtiest of the season, Bonner made an even bolder move. She quit on her own team mid-season without warning or a single thank you. Her grand plan? Force her way to the Phoenix Mercury and parade around as a self-appointed queen. Reality, however, had other plans. Instead of a hero's welcome, the WNBA smacked her with a suspension, effectively blacklisting her league-wide. How does a respected veteran morph into a corporate pariah overnight? And is this the justice she deserves, or is there a deeper scandal bubbling under the surface?
Tempers flared with Dejanay Carrington yelling at somebody on that Connecticut bench, and then Dewanna Bonner quit.
The real shocker wasn't just Bonner's departure. It was the cold, hard calculus of professional consequences. At 36 years old, with 5 All-Star nods and 2 championships under her belt, Bonner had every right to negotiate her next chapter. But instead of using her veteran savvy, she treated the Fever like a cleaning hiccup, ghosted them, then demanded pickup service from Phoenix. There was no strategic retreat, no heartfelt farewell, just an abrupt peace out that reverberated through locker rooms and social feeds alike. By quitting without so much as a courtesy email, Bonner shattered the unspoken bond between veteran and franchise. Fans erupted in outrage, teammates felt betrayed. Caitlin Clark, the rookie phenom thrust into the spotlight from her first buzzer beater, was left scrambling to find her footing without the mentorship she sorely needed. The media snacked on Bonner's ego trip, dubbing it the ultimate "I'm too good for you" meltdown. In response, the WNBA slapped Bonner with a league-wide suspension pending review, an unprecedented move that left her career dangling by a thread.
I did not suspect Dewanna Bonner would be returning to the Indiana Fever. She has been out now for 6 games away from the team for only personal reasons, and the team was being...
When the waiver wire opened, Bonner expected a bidding war. Instead, crickets. Despite her full salary guarantee, not a single team dangled a claim. She'd told every franchise except Phoenix to steer clear, insisting only the Mercury could have her services. Teams across the league silently rebelled. If she'll bail on Indiana, she'll bail on us. That one team only demand not only shrank her market, but torched her professional credibility. In less than a week, she went from coveted veteran to toxic asset.
Being really tight-lipped about it. They weren't giving any more information. But the whole thing, in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of fans, is that there was something else going.
Let's talk numbers. Bonner's salary this season was set at $200,000. Had she honored her contract and played out the year, she'd have banked that full amount. Her Diva Detour cost her a pro-rated payout of roughly $80,000. She willingly sacrificed over $100,000 on principle, or more accurately, on ego. The WNBA's ruthless waiver process saw her demands as entitlement, not negotiation. Her financial faceplant became a cautionary tale. Never overplay your hand, especially when your hand holds zero leverage.
Going on. This didn't seem like something where there was maybe something going on with her family. It didn't seem like she was sick or injured. She just simply stepped away from the team and nobody really knew why.
Beyond the dollars, Bonner ignited a PR firestorm. Fans turned on her, comment sections filled with memes about pulling a Bonner, abandoning commitments at the slightest breeze. Social media dunked on her Instagram posts, once proud showcases of veteran wisdom, now relics of a career gone off script. Even Mercury, her so-called dream destination where girlfriend Alyssa Thomas shines, hesitated. Why disrupt a winning machine for a player who ghosted her last team? The Mercury questioned, does adding Bonner's baggage outweigh her veteran experience? The deeper irony? Bonner's girlfriend Alyssa Thomas remains a beacon of professionalism in Phoenix. Thomas weathered grueling playoff runs and injury setbacks, yet she never wavered in her loyalty. Meanwhile, Bonner allegedly called Thomas pleading for mercy, arguing her departure wasn't personal. But in pro sports, actions speak louder than pleas. Phoenix brass weighed Thomas's reputation against Bonner's abrupt exit. Sympathy gave way to skepticism. Could they trust a player who treated a franchise like a revolving door?
But it wasn't looking good, and all of our suspicions were proven true with this news. And I honestly think across the board, the situation was not handled well.
For Caitlin Clark, the fallout runs deeper than headlines. As the WNBA's hottest rookie, Clark carries the league's hopes, and Bonner was supposed to be her guardian. Instead, the Rook's mentoring program turned into ghost stories and empty promises. Clark now must navigate national attention, endorsement deals, and a fractured locker room dynamic, all without the seasoned guidance she was promised. The Fever's young core feels rudderless, and fans question whether the organization can rebound from this internal betrayal. Off the court, league officials scrutinized the incident as a possible code of conduct violation. The WNBA prides itself on community and respect. Bonner's self-serving exit defied those values. The suspension speaks volumes. No player, regardless of star power or veteran status, can jeopardize the league's integrity. It's a message to all: commitment matters. The WNBA's swift response suggests a zero-tolerance policy for mid-season mutiny.
Just a couple days ago, Coach Stephanie White was saying that she was in contact with DB and that they were just taking it day by day. And then the very next day, when she was once again asked about DB.
Meanwhile, rival teams watch closely. Some see Bonner's fall as a warning, others smell opportunity. If she eats crow and begs for forgiveness, they might capitalize on her veteran savvy when she eventually returns. But that day seems distant. With her reputation in tatters and her bank account a casualty, Bonner faces the possibility of an offseason spent rebuilding trust instead of honing her jump shot. There's a lesson here that transcends basketball. Instant gratification comes at a steep price when you burn the bridges that built your career. Bonner's miscalculation reveals the fragile balance between star power and professional responsibility. You can't phone it in, ghost your commitments, and expect the industry to catch you with open arms. The ball doesn't bounce for entitled players, it bounces for those who show up day in and day out.
DB, she said, well, we haven't really been in conversation that much. So it was very contradictory what she was telling the media. I just don't understand where the media.
This saga is far from over. Will Bonner eat humble pie, apologize, and claw her way back? Or will she stay frozen out, a cautionary figure in the WNBA's highlight reel of cautionary tales? One thing is clear, instant karma never misses a shot, and for Dewanna Bonner, that shot landed squarely in her career. The fallout from Dewanna Bonner's mid-season mutiny didn't end with her suspension, it rippled through the league like a shockwave. Fans who once cheered her veteran savvy now booed her name whenever her past highlights flashed on the Jumbotron. Social media turned into a digital tribunal, each tweet and post dissecting her decision to quit without warning. Sponsors who had lined up to leverage her veteran status began reconsidering their partnerships, unwilling to associate with the league's newest cautionary tale. Even former teammates distanced themselves, wary of being tainted by her reckless reputation.
Media was through all of this. Like, if this was the NBA, there would have been so many reporters trying to get the inside scoop. Every single practice, there would have been questions.
Behind the scenes, the Fever's front office scrambled to patch the damage. They organized extra team bonding sessions, hired a sports psychologist to mend frayed nerves, and emphasized accountability in their public statements. The message was clear: the Fever would not be derailed by one player's selfish exit. Caitlin Clark received renewed support, with assistant coaches stepping in as interim mentors to fill the leadership vacuum Bonner left behind. The organization publicly vowed that loyalty and commitment mattered more than any single star. League officials convened a special meeting to discuss Bonner's case and to review policies on mid-season departures. The WNBA's Code of Conduct got a thorough examination, and officials explored adding clearer language around contract breaches. They wanted to make it unequivocal. Players who abandoned their teams without cause would face stiff penalties. This proactive stance signaled to every rostered athlete that the league prioritized unity and mutual respect over individual whims.
Here is Bonner. She has tied Tina Thompson for third on the all-time scoring list.
Meanwhile, Dewanna Bonner found herself in purgatory. Her phone stopped lighting up with trade inquiries. Calls from agents went unanswered as executives steered clear of her growing scandal. She watched from home as her former peers battled on the court. Championship aspirations undimmed. Each game she missed was another reminder of the gamble she took and lost. The self-inflicted exile began to sting. Eager to reclaim her narrative, Bonner scheduled a sit-down interview with a sports podcast. She delivered a carefully scripted apology, admitting she handled things poorly and expressing regret for any hurt she caused. But the damage was already done. Her words lacked the authenticity needed to sway a skeptical audience. The host pressed her on why she abandoned the Fever without notice and why she believed she could dictate her destination. Bonner's vague explanations only deepened the public's doubts.
Caitlin Clark begging the crowd to get into it. Bonner celebrating.
Despite her mea culpa, the Phoenix Mercury remained non-committal. Team lawyers reviewed her suspension terms, assessing whether signing her was worth the PR headache. The Mercury's official statement struck a cautious tone. They welcomed any veteran influence but respected the league's disciplinary process. Behind closed doors, though, management worried that adding Bonner could fracture team chemistry already perfected under head coach Vanessa Nygaard. As the suspension lingered, rumors swirled of potential reclamation by a rebuilding franchise willing to bet on redemption. The Washington Mystics and Los Angeles Sparks were floated as dark horses, but neither organization issued formal interest. A whisper in the lab suggested that if Bonner agreed to a league-mandated restitution program, community service, mentorship workshops, and public apologies, she might earn a conditional release. Yet Bonner seemed more focused on playing out her grievances than mending fences.
Organization. She knows the ebbs and flows. It still counts for Dewanna Bonner.
The financial consequences of her decisions became painfully clear when Bonner filed her season earnings with the league office. Her anticipated $200,000 paycheck shrank to less than $90,000 after fines and prorated salary reductions. Taxes and agent fees ate into that remainder, leaving her with a fraction of her projected income. Bonner, once accustomed to financial security, now faced a budget smaller than many rookie contracts. Beyond the balance sheet, Bonner wrestled with her legacy. Her previous reputation as a locker room glue guy lay in tatters. Younger players who once admired her veteran resilience spoke openly about feeling betrayed. In team WhatsApp groups, texts circulated about never trust the bench depth if it might ghost. Bonner's absence became a parable shared among rookies. Loyalty is earned, not granted, and those who burn bridges often find no one building a bridge back.
Caitlin's first WNBA bucket blew by Dewanna Bonner for a layup. And this was Caitlin Clark and Dewanna. Bonner get into heated exchange after.
As the season heated up, every game Bonner watched from home felt like a personal indictment. She tried tuning into TV broadcasts, but the commentator sidebars on the Bonner saga left her cringing. Social media highlights showed Fever players rallying around Clark, stepping into leadership roles Bonner abandoned. Each clip was a stark counterpoint to her boarded exit, an unspoken challenge to reclaim relevance amidst fresh faces and rising stars. Turning inward, Bonner began working with a mental performance coach. Through virtual sessions, she confronted her impulsive decision-making and learned techniques to manage stress and expectations. These sessions revealed buried insecurities, fear of obsolescence as a 36-year-old forward in a league increasingly spotlighting youth. Bonner acknowledged that her pride, more than any loyalty concerns, drove her to test the league's limits.
After no call in WNBA playoffs.
Reports emerged of Bonner volunteering at local youth basketball clinics, aiming to rebuild goodwill. She shared her journey, highlighting both her triumphs and her mistakes with aspiring players. For the first time, she admitted she let ego override teamwork. Kids listened, eyes wide, as she described the cost of hubris in professional sports. These clinics became her makeshift rehabilitation tour, a chance to translate her misstep into a teaching moment, yet critics dismissed these efforts as public relations afterthoughts. In parallel, the WNBA commenced a community initiative centered around conflict resolution and professional conduct. Called Court of Respect, the program invited veterans and rookies alike to workshops on communication, contract understanding, and mental health. Dewanna Bonner's actions sparked the initiative, used as a case study to illustrate the stakes of midseason departures. Ironically, Bonner became both the cautionary tale and the potential ambassador for the program she inadvertently inspired. On the court, feverish title races raged on. The Mercury, sans Bonner, cruised through midseason matchups, their young nucleus shining. Elisa Thomas continued to dominate defensively, while talents like Skylar Diggins-Smith and Brittany Griner kept opponents off balance. Phoenix's cohesion underscored the wisdom of rejecting Bonner's conditional demands. The team thrived on unbroken unity, a status Bonner almost shattered with her unilateral exit plan. As trade deadlines approached, whispers circulated that Bonner's suspension would be lifted if she accepted a hearty fine and a league-mandated public apology. Some predicted the Fever might lend her back, a gesture of forgiveness if she demonstrated genuine contrition. Others speculated she'd ride out the season in purgatory, unattached and forgotten. Bonner remained cryptic in her public statements, hinting at a next chapter but refusing to commit to any timeline or process. Media outlets ran retrospectives on Bonner's career, highlighting her all-star seasons and championship runs. Experts debated whether a redemption arc was possible or if her reputation had been irreparably stained. Basketball historians compared her saga to other high-profile player rebellions, noting that most either returned humbled or disappeared into obscurity. The consensus? Bonner's fate hinged on her willingness to own her mistakes and on the league's appetite for second chances.
About Dewanna Bonner, and I think this is a tough blow for the team. Whether Dewanna was a good fit with the team or not, this is a tough blow. They brought her in with Coach Stephanie White.
So, as you reflect on Dewanna Bonner's self-inflicted exile, ask yourself, what would you sacrifice for a dream, and at what cost? Would you risk your reputation to chase an easy exit? The WNBA's response signals that integrity remains non-negotiable and true legacy is built on steadfast loyalty, not headline-grabbing stunts. If you're still hungry for more unfiltered WNBA drama, hit that like button, subscribe for daily breakdowns, and leave a comment sharing your take. Is Dewanna Bonner owed a comeback, or has she shot her shot and missed? Let us know below and stay tuned for every twist, turn, and triumph on the hardwood.